Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Son of a gun. Day after Halloween. I guess that means it's November 1st, huh? Hopefully your Halloween was good and you had fun. That would be a good thing. It is good to enjoy your life. It is good to have life. It is good to metabolize. Definitely a thumbs up for that. It was very chill last night. I had to wear actually I do have a jacket, but I tend to get too warm even for a jacket when it's colder, so I have this long sleeve plaid shirt I've had since forever, and it's getting thinner, so it's not really as good a jacket anymore, but I wear that as a jacket, and I wore that as a jacket last night, and I was more than warm, and extended my walkies, so went walkies quite further, and that was good. So I do over 5 miles. I don't know how far it is. If I'm interested, I'll work it out, but that's good. And of course, the front roll of the video, if you could interact with the YouTube algorithms, and hit the like button if you like what you see in here after being all biological there. That would be very cool. If you could also interact by subscribing to the channel if you have not, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course I do want to thank every single one of my patreon.com patrons. These people literally help keep me alive. Food in my belly, a roof over my head, pain medication so I can keep moving, and actually helping to keep my pets fed and healthy too. So if you could become a patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be truly beautiful and awesome. So thumbs up for that. I have no ideas, no good time sense in my head if I took my hands down too fast or the text is still over my face, but thumbs up and thank you to each one of these people. You are beautiful and awesome. So oy vey. I haven't done a whole lot yesterday, just did a ton of just nothing. So yay. But I did watch some videos, I did play a couple games, I did go walkies, I did try to think on various things and various such, and then, excuse me, I'm so biological this morning. There's a bunch of minor things that I want to say, and then I'm going to talk about something kind of big that I was thinking about last night. One of the things was, yesterday I woke up and I went to bed and there was no wound on my finger, and when I woke up, there was a chunk out of my finger. And I've got some extra wounds on my hands here. I don't know what happened. And so I have been treating that with like antibiotic ointment and alcohol to try and make sure it doesn't get infected, and it's still red, and that's not good. I have no ideas what took a chunk out of me. So thumbs up. And I gotta be careful. I used to get cellulitis, which is a bad generalized infection that can kill you, and I've almost died many times because of it. So I'm staying on top of this sort of thing. Thumbs up. Also, some other things that I was thinking of because I had been watching some videos. One thing I had not known about the brains of roaches, because I had heard that, a roach can live without its head, and most creatures can't live without a brain. Some actually do. There is especially one sea creature that starts off its young life with a brain, and then when it grows into full maturity, it actually dissolves its own brain and then lives the rest of its life without one. So don't ask me how that works. I hear a little fuzzy boy crawling around in there. I may bring him out. But a roach's brain is not centralized in its head. It has the largest chunk of brain there, but its brain is it's decentralized in spots throughout its entire body. So yeah, you can lop off its head and it's gonna live. It's eventually gonna die. Its head's gone, can't eat or drink, but yeah, it's still got most of its brain when you take its head off. Thumbs up. Also, as an aside, I had been thinking about extreme low frequency stuff, and then I was watching another video that I'm trying to, carbon monoxide can really make you hallucinate. So one of the things that really happens in old time houses, likely this happened a lot and happens a lot today, you can think you're living in some place that's haunted. You can think that you're being stalked, and it's just carbon monoxide poisoning. So you need to be really careful. It's not much carbon monoxide, and you will have horrific things going on in your head because of that. So you want to be careful. Let's see. Hey, little guy, I know it's hard to get to your water bottle. You keep knocking stuff all over the place. He's drinking, but I'm gonna lift him up. I'm reaching into my little guy's cage and I'm lifting him up because I want to show him off, and I'll put him back in when we're done. But this is little Ghost. He's still happy and friendly and alive and healthy. He's a good little guy. And he was just drinking. He woke up long enough to go drinking. And I've got a lot of stuff in his cage, probably more than he should have. And so sometimes it falls in front of the water bottle, and then he has to really struggle and fight to be able to drink. But there's a little Ghost. He's still a good guy, so I'm going to put him back. There we go. Sorry about that, little guy. You drink and then go back to sleep. There we go. He's a good little guy. Definitely a good thing. But extreme low frequency sound can cause visual hallucinations because your eyeballs are actually shaking. And you can see weird things when that happens. There was this one scientist who reported being in a building. He saw someone leaning against a wall come up from the wall and start walking toward him. He was in a field of extreme low frequency sound, and when he turned his head to look, that moved his head out of the field, so the figure vanished. There was an air conditioning unit filling the warehouse where he worked with that sound. It wasn't a warehouse worker, it was like working in a desk sort of thing. But still, even if you were a factory worker, extreme low frequency sound can do that. There have been times that I have been a victim of that. One time I had pulled into the house that I and my wife had used to live in while she was alive. And I figured I had to have been in a field of extreme low frequency sound because looking at the window, I saw it open up and a gray face look out and then shut. And I was like, oh wow, extreme low frequency sound, that's pretty cool. And so I wondered where it was, and that was neat. Being able to identify when it's happening. When I was on walkies last night, I was walking through a particular part of one neighborhood. I cannot remember where or when in Shelton it was, but it was on the walk, and I saw like a black figure, quadrupedish, but still humanoid, watching and then dashing behind a car. Well, it's Halloween, but there was nobody over there. I was in a field of extreme low frequency sound. Got to see something. Cool. Now, I don't want to get poisoned by carbon monoxide to hallucinate, but holy smokes, that would be bad. Because people get confused and terrified, think that they are being stalked by someone who wants to murder them, and it's just things that they've done and forgotten because of the carbon monoxide. So, oy vey. Hopefully I'm going to be good. I've mentioned before many times, I keep my window open right now, basically 24/7, 365, so that my kitty cat can jump in and out, which means I get all this ventilation. When I go to bed in my room, I've got fans running, but I also have my windows open there all the time. I need moving air. Stagnant air is just, I can't take the feeling. It's awful and disgusting. Well, to me. Oh yes, and I did get a hard drive given to me from Lucyfer. So hopefully, Lucyfer, you are watching. I meant to talk about this yesterday, but I forgot, and my sincere apologies. Because I have a 3 terabyte hard drive that's dying. I need to stop using it and get the stuff off of it as fast as possible. I had a hard drive on my wish list, and it looks like Lucyfer was the person who purchased that and sent it. And thank you so very much. That does help. It is a wonderful thing. Thank you. I meant to talk about this, and I'm sorry that I did not. Now, the reason that I said I need more is because it's a 3 terabyte drive that's dying, and I just put a 1 terabyte drive on the list, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Losing 3 terabytes on a 3 terabyte drive when it goes bad is painful and hard to find replacements and more space for. All of the hard drives in my computer are slowly dying. The big one, the 3 terabyte one, dying the fastest. And since I barely have any money to even live when a whole 3 terabyte drive goes, I can't buy 3 terabytes worth of stuff to replace it. So if it's more distributed and I've got it on like 3 1 terabyte drives, and one of the 1 terabyte drives starts to go, well, you just back up and replace that one, and the other 2 are at least still running. Whereas if it's a 3 terabyte drive and it goes, it all goes. And that's what I'm facing right now. And holy smokes, incremental changes are amazing. When I first started using HitFilm Express as my editor, it took about 1 minute to render 1 minute. And so a 20-minute video took 20 minutes to render. Over time, as the drive slowly died, it started taking upwards of like 45 minutes to render a 20-minute video. And then, when I finally figured out it was the drive, was when it was starting to say 20-minute video. Yeah, I've been working on this thing for an hour, and it's going to be another hour. And it's like, oh. And so I moved some of the things off the dying drive, and yeah, it's back to rendering like 1 minute per minute. So, life is life. Now, of course, I need to find I know how to find mechanical hard drive monitors for their health, so you can watch them as they die, or monitor their health. People have said that there are SSD monitors out there for health, and that'll be good, and I'd like to find them because I've never been able to find one. Everything I've found does not give accurate information on an SSD drive, so yay. And I don't know if I'm being elitist or classist, but I like the mechanical drives instead of the SSDs so much because, all drives go bad, but the SSDs tend to fail catastrophically all at once. And the mechanical drives, my 3 terabyte drive's a mechanical drive. It's slowly dying. It's a long, slow fail. But at least I'm able to access it and still use it until I can back it up. If it was an SSD like my C drive that's died twice now, it works fine, and then it doesn't. So, yeah. Now, there was one story that I was working on last night that was a really dumb thing, and I didn't leave myself time to talk about it much, but I'm going to try and talk about it now. Because it was all Friday, Halloween and all that, I was thinking of a story where, there's like Jason, but except you'd have to give him a different name because of copyright and all that, but they call him Wagner. There's a supernaturally charged serial killer Wagner, who every Friday the 13th goes out and murders people that fit inside of the, archetype. And on Thursday the 12th, that night, there's this there's a hair salon where it turns out the person is giving a nice new hairdo and such to Wagner/Jason. And they know it's them. They know they really give off that supernaturally charged serial killing human murder machine vibe. And it's really got them turned on, but not turned on as you'd think. Of course, it's like, how do you want to pay for your haircut and all that? You've got your machete with you. You could gut me. We've got all sorts of things here in the shop. You could take me apart with one of those. You could decorate the whole shop with me. And it wasn't quite working until, I think that's actually kind of a middle-aged gay fellow that's pushing and being very careful about it, of course, but all ready to be taken apart by this 7.5 foot tall, 300-pound supernaturally charged murder machine. They're ready. They're so wet. And all that wetness wants to come out. And it's a story that's kind of odd because the character, Wagner, has an actual existential crisis, realizing, my God, I've just been murdering by the numbers. The art and the passion of killing innocent people has been absent. I have been hunting down and murdering innocent people and just killing them because they fit into these arbitrary archetypes that I made up. There's been no art. I have not decorated anything with anyone's intestines in over a decade. I have made a mockery of my own murders. And so it goes from there. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments. My community tab, I have far less than 25 comments, but any more than 0 is awesome. So thank you, each and every one of you. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, I do have still depression, ADHD, fibromyalgia with its wonderful brain fog. So one day my memory is going to hit a limit, but I'm getting better all the time. So we have Kieran M. Thumbs up and thank you. Alex doing dumb stuff. It is an interesting song. And Lucyfer, thank you so much once more. And good to see you in the comments. And I'm very, very sorry that depression has taken its toll on you. It's no fun. We have Nakuro, greatly appreciated. And Kurai Abernathy, very good to see you in the comments. A definite thumbs up. We have Sebastian Ferris, thumbs up. Downtown 802, greatly appreciated. There is a name in... I cannot pronounce it. I ran the whole comment through Google Translate. It's a good comment, and I forgot to write any of that down. But thank you very much. And then there's Ben B, greatly appreciated. Larry from Space, I like the name, and definite thumbs up. BAYD Zone, thumbs up and thank you. Progressive Politics and Cannabis Culture, thumbs up and thank you. Jocelyn Williams, thumbs up and very much so. And there we are. That's I think that's 13. Yeah, that's 13, not 12. 13 people left me comments in the last 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you all. For a very brief moment of time, you get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with other people, if only in text. Greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Of course, how do I usually say this part? I've derailed myself with my own thought. I do not know what device you're watching this on, so I do not know where the video description is, but there's links to all my channels in it. If you could check that out, that would be cool. There's also links to things like Twitter, Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon.com patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally helping to keep me and my pets alive. It is a definite thumbs up, and if you could become a beautiful and awesome Patreon.com patron, that too would be beautiful and awesome. Thank you so very, very much. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have a PayPal link in the video description. I'm not above grubbing for spare cash. Anything you can spare. When you've got next to nothing, anything helps. And of course, if you'd like to help me out and you don't have any money to just toss my way, I do have an Amazon wish list link with things like cat food on it, and I'm going to add hamster stuff and hopefully those other hard drives. So if you could check that out, that would be cool. Now, of course, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated to no end. Oof, da. Now I'm out of breath. Of course, remember to seek creativity. Thinking creativity is a good way to keep your brain working. You need to keep it lubed up with juice to stave off dementia as you get older. Do your best, it helps. Seek positivity. I was a negative person for far too many years. It only hurts yourself and others. And of course, seek balance in all things. Moderation in all things. Don't bounce off the walls from extreme to extreme. It may be interesting, but it's not healthy. Try to maintain that even keel. And of course, with the Covfefe bug still raging, if you don't have to go out amongst other peoples, try not to. If you do, please wear a mask, wash your hands often, try not to touch your face, maintain that social distancing, get the jab, get the shot, get the vax, get a booster if it's available. You can get through this. It's a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. Excuse me. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a definite thumbs up.